What's the best thing you've seen since you saw better?
Vooral de kleur van een oog vond ik heel schoon.
But the most beautiful thing and wonderful thing is the color of eyes.
In 1978, Gordon purchased a seaside home in Nantucket. Along with the home came an unexpected bonus. Caretaker Gilbert Burchell, better known as Gibby.
Well, my dad was sort of like the tour guide to the Guns when they bought the house. He showed them all kinds of new things, the clamming, the fishing, really showed Gordon and the rest of the family how to enjoy Nantucket.
Gib was sort of a third generation Nantucketer and very, almost a Renaissance man in a way. And it used to drive him crazy when we first bought the house, that Gordon would always be, when he was up there, working.
Gordon was actually he's got an office at the end of the house, and he was on that telephone an awful lot. And I think, you know, my dad was a little bit older than Gordon, and he thought he should enjoy something else to do with his hands instead of always working with his mind.
And he thought this just isn't right. So he came one day and said to Gordon, "Gordon, you ought to come down here and try carving."
Next thing I knew, Gordon had a sort of a blocky whale in his hand, and he started shaping it with chisels and rasps and sandpaper. And then he got into some power tools, and the whales got a little bloodier.
And the white pine will absorb all blood.
Yeah, there's a lot of skin and probably some blood spots on this. But yeah, Gordon started, I believe, with this very whale, and it went from there.
Perhaps it should come as no surprise that this seemingly simple new hobby would quickly turn to an obsession.
Once I've got a sense of what I want to do, it's all in my head. I actually turn it around. I look at it inside my head from every angle so that I have a feeling for how it might look if you were looking at it from behind it or one side or the other or underneath or up above.
He gets a feeling into a sculpture. Particularly, there's a combination of abstractness and reality, which together make for very compelling sculptures.
And so he brings that thinking about what he's going to do to approach the salmon or the frog or the bird, and he dreams of it at night. But in the morning he gets up, and that dream is all he has, and that image in his mind is all he has. And he goes to work with it. And in some ways, it's a blessing for that kind of art.
I think the tactile part of it is something that, you know, he just really felt like he could do. And there's an independence to it that he doesn't have in anything else in his life. I mean, he can go, and he does spend hours in his studio just either carving or molding clay, and he just loves it.
Oh, no question, sculpting helps me stay in touch with the world, and also really with myself, because it's a lot of fun. And the textures, whether it's wood or it's clay or it's stone, and it's very absorbing. I put some music on, various kinds, and I'll go for hours.
We don't have do not touch signs up, because he wants people to touch his work. That's how he works. And he has a combination of realism and almost abstraction in his work. And I think people begin to see the depth of the art when they touch it and understand that indeed he's an artist, but he happens to be blind. He's not a blind artist.
It's a mixture of the past, present things I touch and what I do with it in my head.